Welcome back to the Astro Experience. Now we have should I do Leo moons? Let's see. I'm gonna do Sagittarius moons, okay? We did Aries, we're gonna do Sagittarius and then Leo, okay? To finish off the fire signs. Now, I know I'm about 11 months late, but we're here. So let's just get this started, okay? And I got some sage. I'm gonna be burning and shit. So when we're talking about Sagittarius energy, right? Sagittarius is a fire sign. Sagittarius is ruled by Jupiter, and is also a mutable sign that Mercury does not like being in. Also, now when you have the moon, right? The moon represents your emotions. It represents your inner world. It represents what makes you feel comfortable. It represents your maternal energy also, okay? So, when you bring all of this together, you get a Sagittarius moon. Sagittarius is about freedom, exploration. It's about long distance travel, philosophy, God, wisdom, expression, expansion, luck, things like that, okay? Being larger than life, expanding beyond boxes, aiming high, optimism, okay? So when you bring that to the moon sign, this expands your inner world. This expands your feelings, okay? Now, depending on the rest of your big three, that can get volatile, okay? If you have another fire or air sign for your sun sign, okay? If you have an earth sign for your sun sign, this will make you a little bit more composed and relaxed. If you have a water sign as your sun sign, you might be a lot more emotionally volatile, okay? But they all play out positively and negatively. So there's no good or bad combinations. It just is what it is. But with Sagittarius specifically, these people are your philosophers, okay? These people are also very childlike because Sagittarius is also about play, freedom, and just being a child, being like a kid in a candy store. But at the same time, these people hold a dual archetype, the fool as well as the master, okay? These people know how to play, but these people are also very intellectually savvy and very philosophical, okay? Now, let's start with early life and upbringing, okay? The moon represents the maternal figure that you had during the first 7 years of your life, at least, okay? And then we understand that whatever you go through the first 7 years of your life subconsciously programs you for the rest of your life, so you're more prone to exhibiting certain traits. So, what does all of this mean, right? Your mother, okay, these people, moms usually had them at a very young age, okay? Because as you know, the moon represents your maternal figure. The relationship that you've had with your mom had a very Sagittarian theme to it, okay? So your mother played out a lot of Sagittarius energy around your birth and your pregnancy. So a lot of times these people have very fast mothers. And if it's not fast like that, these people have very childlike and very playful mothers, okay? So growing up in a household like that, these people are naturally taught to express and to be free, okay? And if they didn't learn that through nurturing, they learned that through opposition. They learned that through restriction. But no matter what other placements you have, freedom and exploration was a big theme of your childhood, as well as your relationship with your mother, okay? A lot of these people feel like they need to expand beyond their mother or their parents or their home life, okay? Um, Sagittarius moons also grow up feeling very confined by their environment because you have such big emotions, but being very young, you may not know how to express that, or you may not know how to contain those expressions and those emotions. Therefore, leading your mother and your parents and the people in your environment to be overwhelmed by you. Okay? And a lot of times you can be overwhelmed by yourself. Therefore, this can lead to alienation. Okay? A lot of times Sagittarius moons feel alienated growing up. And I don't want to get all over the place with this video, but honestly, that's kind of the theme of Sagittarius energy also. Just being all over the place. And I tell y'all, every single video I make, I channel the energy of whatever planet, whatever zodiac sign I'm talking about. So if I'm scattered in this video, that's also a representation of Sagittarius energy. And then I'm also a Sagittarius moon. So that's just naturally me also. But yeah, growing up, you naturally felt like you had to expand beyond your environment. And you love dancing, you love playing, you love singing, anything creative, like these people naturally love. These people grew up very wise, okay? These people love philosophical conversations. These are the kids that sit in a class and ask a teacher questions like, why do we have to know this? Or why is this important? Okay? Sagittarius energy is all about reasoning and meanings also. So these people ask a lot of larger than life questions based on purpose. Like, why are we even here? Okay? And this can create a stubborn kid, especially if your chart is Earth. But Sagittarius moons don't like moving without meaning, without purpose, without reasoning, okay? They can do a lot of shit out on a whim just for the sake of expression, but the shit that they're really trying to get at in life, they need meaning. It has to mean something to them. It has to light them up internally, okay? So shit like school, these people hated school because they feel like, yo, if I'm not going to be a doctor, a lawyer, a vet, why the fuck am I in school? These people hate confinement. They hate things like religion, schools, job, societal structures. They hate being boxed in, okay? If you make a Sagittarius moon feel like they're in a cage, they're going to do everything in their power to show you that they're not in that cage. And that can become very self-destructive because they can start to do shit at detriment of themselves to prove a point that they're free. When it's like, you don't have to do all of that, but I understand, okay? So growing up, these people probably didn't have the best relationship with their parents because if you want freedom as a child, you naturally want to expand beyond your parents, and your parents are not naturally going to respond well to that, okay? So these people can burn a lot of bridges growing up because they just want to expand beyond everything. And being young and being youthful, you really don't know how to do that while also being responsible, okay? So I've seen major themes of Sagittarius sun, moon, and risings, but specifically moons, burning a lot of bridges with people as they grow up. And they kind of mask it as, oh, I'm probably evolving too fast, or, oh, these people don't get me, or, oh, they're trying to box me in or cage me in. But it's not about that. It's about responsibility and duty. And growing up, Sagittarius moons might not understand that how they should, especially if they don't have a lot of earth energy, okay? But moving on from childhood and going into adolescence, right? That's a major theme. burning bridges and whatnot. And this also helps them accumulate a lot of experiences too, which helps them become a lot more wiser later on in their life. And there's another point I want to make too that I forgot. Um, Travel, okay? I've noticed that people with Sagittarius moons traveled a lot. And if they have not traveled a lot, they traveled very far from where they grew up at, okay? Because Sagittarius expansion and travel, these people naturally travel from where they grew up, okay? And if they never moved while they were young or while they were teenagers, they've thought about it a lot because that's their inner world. The moon is your inner world. Ooh, excuse me. So you feel like, bro, I just want to escape life. I just want to escape, or not even escape. I don't want to put a negative connotation on it, but I just want to expand beyond wherever I'm at. Okay. And these are very big people, very warm, very loving also. Okay. But as they grow up into adulthood and they learn how to structure themselves and their personality and their life more, these people are very powerful because Jupiter is a planet of luck and experience. So off top, these people are very experienced within their life, but they're also very lucky. And they also retain the wisdom from the experiences that they have, okay? So for Sagittarius moons, you may feel like, bro, I've lived 1,000 lives within this one lifetime. And that's very powerful, okay? So I touched on growing up and then getting older. And when it comes to relationships, when it comes to relationships, bro, relationships for Sagittarius moons are one of the biggest teachers because relationships serve as a very close mirror, a very close reflection of who you are. And sometimes Sagittariuses want to expand beyond things like that. They may not want to get as emotionally close to somebody as they may wish. So a lot of times, these people can be hopeless romantics. I'm not gonna lie. I've seen this so many times. These people can be hopeless romantics, but they can also self-sabotage their own relationships because they have a fear of vulnerability. They have a fear of being boxed in and labeled and caged. Okay? So that's something I've also noticed. But when it comes to that, really just understanding that you have to be with somebody who gives you freedom. You have to be with somebody who understands your nature. Not to say that you're gonna fucking move away from them after a month or like start cheating or some shit, but they have to let you have room to be you. Like, as a big person, it's very easy to feel cluttered if you're constantly around somebody all the time, or if you constantly have expectations that you have to live up to within a relationship. And that also goes into growing up and evolving as a Sagittarius moon, because this is a very big theme I've also seen play out with Sagittarius moons. So really getting comfortable within yourself and understanding that you have to give yourself that freedom first. And then communicating that to your partners and whoever you're with is also a very big sticking point, okay? So let's see. I don't want to keep rambling. I don't want to keep talking in circles and everything. But yeah, that's Sagittarius energy is very larger than life. These people are very loving within their relationships also. They can have a fear of vulnerability, but they are also very warm people. Very generous too. I forgot to say that. Very, very generous. These people will give you the shirt off of their back if you truly needed it, okay? because generosity is also a very Jupiter trait. Okay, these people are very generous. They have a lot of good advice for the people in their lives, because Jupiter is about optimism also. So these people are naturally optimistic. So even if they had the most fucked up, chaotic lives, they can still look in the mirror and say, okay, I can keep going in life because I believe in God, which is where they get philosophical. I believe in God, but I'm also optimistic of the fact that no matter what happens, I can always get back up again. Okay? The Sagittarius constellation is the centaur shooting an arrow. So a Sagittarius is always, Sagittarius moon, is always forward focusing. They always have a very big perspective and a very big outlook on life. Okay? So the people that come to them that needs higher perspectives, a Sagittarius can be very inspirational and very motivational to the people around them. Okay? So this also makes them very warm. And people love them for that. Okay? But I will say that meticulous things, day-to-day things can be very challenging. Unless this person has a lot of earth energy, specifically Virgo, but earth in general, these people can get bogged down by mundane life. These people can hate doing the same thing every day, which is job, school, work. So systems like that, that's very meticulous and very day-to-day oriented, can really weigh on a Sagittarius moon if they don't know how to operate within these structures. Okay, it's also a big thing. So just learning how to use your energy in bits, in increments, instead of wanting to expand all at once and say, I want this big life. You have to break it down into steps, or else you will get overwhelmed, or else you will have analysis paralysis and you won't know which way to go. Because Sagittarius moons, they want to do everything. They feel everything also, okay? They feel everything because they feel so expanded. They understand a lot of different perspectives. They understand. I need some fucking water, bro. Okay. I ain't bring no water up, but fuck it. They understand people so much because they're a mutable fire sign. Fire is about expression. Being mutable is about being relatable and adaptable. And then emotions is about, and then your moon is about emotions. So these people understand a lot of other people's perspectives. They understand how people feel. They understand what to say to make somebody motivated and inspired. They know how to look at somebody else's life and put themselves in that other person's shoes. Okay? That's a very Sagittarius quality also. Really any mutable moon knows how to do this, but Sagittarius specifically, because fire is about seeing, it's about expression, it's about visions, it's about prophecies also. These people are also visionaries, especially if you got 12th house placements, bro. Your dreams are very important. And your dreams specifically, yeah, but the visions that you get, these people are very, very progressive. These people can see the future. Like, I promise you, bro. I promise you. These people are your visionaries, bro. Yeah, very psychic also. So that's really Sagittarius energy in a nutshell. Unironically, you cannot contain their energy in a nutshell. Do not try to make these people feel boxed in or caged in, because they will most definitely expand beyond you, and they may burn you because they're a fire sign, okay? Oh, another thing. Sagittarius moon anger. That is another thing too, because Sagittarius can be very giving, very generous, very warm. But these people can also blow up very quickly. It can be very volatile also, very volatile. These are the people to where they can be super mad at you for a second, but cool off the next second, like nothing happened. Like if you violate a boundary, they may not blow up on you initially because they are generous, they have grace with people, and they are warm and understanding. But if you keep doing it, after they set a boundary, they may blow up on you very fast. Like very fast. They may crash out like horribly. You feel me? Horribly crash out. And then 10 minutes later, they could act like that shit never, ever, ever happened. Because they can move on from emotions so quickly because they're mutable and they just want to expand. They look at, perfect analogy. They look at every emotion as a timeline, okay? So once they're done being in that timeline of anger and frustration, after they crash out and explode, they're just like, all right, I'm done with that. I'm cool now. Like, it's all right. Like, bro, because they're so mutable, they can adapt so easily, bro. This is a very watery fire sign. A very watery and a very airy fire sign also. When it comes to Earth, hopefully you have other Earth placements in your chart to ground this Sagittarius energy, because this energy can get very scattered and very all over the place, like I said, right? But yeah, that's Sagittarius energy. Sagittarius moon signs. Yeah, bro, I think I'll leave it at that. This is just part 1, 2. I could keep going on and on, bro. And like I said, I'm a Sagittarius moon also, so I get it. I understand. Yeah, for sure. If you want part 2, most definitely leave a comment, bro. If you want to work with me one-on-one, I have a lot of astrological services that I offer. Hit the link in my bio, bro. Any other videos y'all want to see me make, drop it down in the comments. Yeah, any suggestions y'all got, leave them in the comments, bro. How'd you think about the video? All of that shit, whatever you say at the end of a YouTube video. But yeah, I'll catch y'all next video, bro.